Good evening. Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is episode 434. Shout out to everybody who's been watching, tuning in, paying attention, soaking up the information. Your energy is much appreciated. Thank you for everybody who's been sharing the clips, the broadcast. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed. Definitely make sure you subscribe as well if you're just coming in new. Um, Tonight, I wanted to briefly discuss or get into when to stop and when to move forward. Um, this is something that can be very difficult to figure out in the dating space when you're dating, right? Trying to figure out when you should move forward with a person and when you should put up the stop sign. Um, and the way that I answer that question is it truly depends on the person. It depends on not only just who you are, what you've been through, but what is still active within you, and how much you allow fear to dominate your thought processes and your energy. Uh, and so let's start with when to move forward. A lot of times, some of us can end up moving forward in situations that we should stop. Some of us move forward with people who are safe, who we have an attraction towards of some sort, um, and who are familiar. So we move forward when those things are present. Maybe they make you laugh, some of the superficial, some of the outward stuff, but also the type of energy that we may feel in connection to a certain person, right? And we may move forward in that scenario and not taking into account red flags that would indicate that this person is somebody you should not move forward with. So when should you move forward with somebody? Two things should be in place. Number one, you should have your standards identified. Before you move forward, you should have your standards identified, your non-negotiables identified, your deal breaker, all these different things. You should have those identified. And not only what you don't want them to have, but what you do want them to have. The feelings they should provoke within you, the what they inspire, if they inspire you, if they push you to do better, having that desire to evolve as a couple, as a partnership, right? What are the things that you need and that are essential while single? Breaking this down for yourself and creating it externally, writing it down, keeping it out, visible. The problem a lot of times is you may have an idea, but those things shift when you get around somebody who you're attracted to. When you get around somebody familiar, you don't go off of the full standards list. That stuff shifts. You start to negotiate differently, and you start to lowball yourself and lower your standards and change your standards based on who's in front of you. Your standards shouldn't be contingent upon who you run into or who you think is available. It should be what the hell you want. And if it's not that, we should stop and not move forward. So the standards are the first thing. The second thing is you want to be sure you are in choosing form. We have to be honest and accountable with the fact that not all of us are choose ready. We're not choice ready. We're not ready to choose properly because we're still dealing with fear. We're still dealing with trauma. We're still dealing with unhealed elements that cause us to choose based on familiarity and not choose based on a likeness or a reflection of our healed, evolved, and happy state. So we need to do the work before we get to a choosing space. Anytime you choose a partner in an unhealed, fear dominant space, it will end up wrong for you. It'll end up bad for you. Even if you stick it out, even if you fight it and you fight for it and you keep staying and you stay there just so you don't prove anybody right. You stay in that relationship year after year. It doesn't make it a good one. It just means you lowered your ceiling. And you said, I'll accept this. But it's not the best. It's not the peak. And I'm talking to people who want things at peak level, who want to do the work and then meet a reflection of what that work generates. Vibrate with somebody who's just as focused on becoming their best version. That's when you move forward. When those two things are in play and you haven't dumbed down your list and changed it or anything like that, that's when you move forward. When you're in choosing form, proper healed choosing form, and when you have your standards identified clearly. Now, when should you stop? I know some people who stop due to fear. There are situations where, certain insecurities or certain, being fearful of being in a committed relationship, being fearful of somebody leaving you, being fearful of somebody figuring out who you actually are and then discarding you, rejecting you, right? And then so you leave first. You stop on a good thing, something that's been going good, but fear takes you out, makes you want to sabotage, makes you want to start arguments, makes you want to battle and or leave or separate or emotionally distance from something that's good. That's when you should not stop, especially if this person is pouring into you, especially if they are of value or they instill value in you or they help you in certain ways or they, help you to grow. If you're lucky enough to find somebody who's going to help you and return the energy and be reciprocal, you finding reasons to break it off when in all actuality it's just fear of the unknown, is fear of something positive actually working in your favor, then that's a goal point. That's not a stop. That's a point where you should move the hell forward and not let fear dominate your choice making. Now, when should you stop? When you have a situation where somebody completely switches the program. So you may be in a healed state, evolving. You may have vetted a person for the qualities you like, the qualities you're after, the qualities that resonate with your healed self. And that person switches the program, an event, midlife crisis, something makes them not that person anymore. And you go through the proper channels. You say, okay, whether it's counseling, whether it's, this, that, and the third, right? Nothing seems to be working. If you are alone in a relationship, a relationship should be like a team, like a partnership, like a hand in hand. It shouldn't be a stagecoach where you the horse and you dragging the carriage behind you, dragging your partner behind you. That gets old after a while, and it's not how it should go. Even because here's my point. Even if your partner's going through something crazy, going through something tragic, right? At the minimum, they should be able to admit that, yeah, I'm off right now, but I'm working. I'm off right now, but I'm trying. I know that I've become different and I'm working to get myself back to and then you see tangible effort. You see the admission, you see that person wanting to be better, and you're supporting that person in the process. That's helping your partner and your teammate to get back up after they get knocked down on the court. not dragging them up, but helping them to get back up and seeing that they are putting forth effort to get back on their square so they can eventually be the person that they want to be, right? So it's not kicking them while they down, but if you see somebody who is not putting forth any effort, who is ingrained in who they are becoming, and is not willing to put forth any effort into themselves, nor put any effort into you in a relationship, that's a stop right there. And there's no shame in that. Doesn't matter whether that's happening in a relationship or happening in an actual marriage. It's the same deal. Because I know for me, that's false advertising. if there's a total switch up and there's no semblance or no effort to become better. Again, this is why one of my major qualities that I look for is an inherent desire to evolve. Somebody gets knocked down by life, yes, they're going to need support, but they're going to be trying as well. They're cognizant of the awareness of the effects and things like that, which is why the second thing I look for is self-awareness, and the third thing is accountability. All three of these things will take you far. These are my three non-negotiables for relationships, and if you move with that energy, you won't be disappointed. You won't be bringing in something with the potential to affect you in a negative way, cause emotional pain, and be another reference point for why something didn't work out that you put your heart into. Nobody got time for that. So we enhance the screening process, hence the choosing space, healthy choosing mentality, energy, emotions, and things like that. Get them standards clear as day. And that combination will put you in the space to manifest and attract the one and be happy as hell in the meantime. Because that goes for other things. Creating your standards for your life, creating your standards for your purpose, creating standards for your lifestyle, creating standards for your friendships. Am I talking to somebody? A lot of times we get caught up in this nostalgia, knowing each other for 20 years. That means I can take your shit. No. I've known you since the sandbox, but I'm letting you throw sand in my wounds. Nah, I don't care how long I've known you or how much bloodline we got in. Nah, friends, family, nobody's getting to do anything if it doesn't follow the guidelines, follow the standards. You protect your energy. It's not anybody else's responsibility solely. Now, people can support it, but it's not anybody's responsibility solely. So, guys, keep this in mind. Phone's about to die. Great chopping it up. Great connecting with you guys. Big things on the way. Definitely click the link in the description to check in with me, tap in with me. Set up a Zoom. Anything you guys want to do. Major things on the way. Keeping busy, staying positive, staying productive. So I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Wilmer Black. See you guys in the comments. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Be sure to share and follow and also subscribe.